Welcome everybody to Freedom from the Desk. I'm Nicola Brunton, and today we're going to be talking about a quite a common topic within the sort of business owner, self-employment entrepreneur realm, and that's the fixed versus growth mindset and why it sort of matters for your business. Now, a lot of you may know what a fixed or a growth mindset is, but we're just going to sort of delve into it a little bit today and unpack it for those of you who don't know or haven't heard about what it is and where it came from, and actually sort of how to recognize it, and some physical tools that you can use to maybe move out of a fixed mindset if you're sitting there at the moment. And it's natural; it happens to everybody. So let's just look at a scenario so we can sort of fit it into our lives. Have you ever caught yourself saying, I'm just not good with numbers, or marketing isn't my thing? That's essentially your mindset talking. And the thing that moves away from being a fixed mindset is knowing that it is actually flexible, and we actually can change the way we view things and our abilities, and how we can move away from that fixed mindset into that growth mindset. Now, with all things, it's easier said than done, but the old saying, and I've mentioned it previously on another podcast, you're the sum of the five people that you hang around with, and things like that. And that's true, and that's got to do with that fixed mindset. I put a post up recently on my Facebook page about, the scariest thing that can happen is to be in the same place that you were this time last year. And that's very much a fixed mindset growth. Sorry, a fixed mindset, because you are just rinsing and repeating the same thing over and over and over again, and sometimes expecting a different result if you are a business owner or even in your personal life. So I think whether it's a good way to kind of take a moment and actually sit back and go, maybe I have got a fixed mindset. When you think about where you were, or what you were doing, or what you were achieving, or what you're doing throughout your day this time last year, has anything changed? Have you changed anything up? Are you reading 10 pages in a book every day? Are you doing something that moves you into the fear, or, scares the bejesus out of your zone in business? Have you learned any new skills? Have you increased your business? Have you moved product, or have you increased in a level within your business? Whatever the case may be, take a look at where you are now. So just sit down and take a moment, where you are now and where you were a year ago, and just compare and see, maybe I am sitting in a bit of a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset if pretty much everything's remained unchanged. So a little bit about the origin, or where the concept of the fixed mindset come from, and the credit actually goes to a Dr. Carol Dweck. She was a psychologist and author of Mindset: The New Psychology of Success, who in turn basically popularized the term fixed versus growth mindset. But essentially, the concept comes from decades of research into how beliefs about our intelligence and our ability to shape our achievements. That's where that fixed and growth mindset comes from. So, another easy way to look at whether you've got a fixed mindset or whether you've got a growth mindset is to look at the traits behind each one of them. So, with a fixed mindset, you might have beliefs like, I am what I am. This is what I grew up with. This is the hand I've been dealt. So that's it. Or failures might define you. So you've done something in the past, hasn't been a success, or you've deemed it as a failure. So therefore, you stay in that little bubble, in that zone. There may be an avoidance of challenges. You stick to what's comfortable, and I get that. That's human nature. we very much, stay in our lane when we want to try something new, or if we want to step away from a shitty job that we may be in, or we want to look at maybe being a bit brave and branching out, having a side hustle, and, the concept of working in online or working in sales or something like that just blows our mind because it's a challenge. So we tend to just stay where we are. That's a fixed mindset. Seeing effort as pointless. It's like, if I have to try, I must not be very good at it. Or it's like, well, oh no, I could never do that, so I wouldn't even try. Again, a fixed mindset. And taking on feedback personally, like seeing it as like a personal attack, feeling criticized rather than guided. Everyone has the ability to learn, but sometimes through learning, we receive information that we possibly won't like. And it's not being criticized, it's learning to take that feedback on personally. So if you feel like, anytime someone has some feedback for you that's delivered in a professional way, obviously, you feel kind of criticized, that can link to having a fixed mindset. So, and an example for business owners, avoiding social media marketing because they aren't good on camera. You've got to learn to love yourself. You've got to learn to love yourself, warts and all. And I think some of the best social media, and I don't like to use the word influencers, but they just show up online and do it. And amazingly, those types of videos where it's real and raw and personal and upfront, no makeup, shiny nose, whatever the case may be, those are the best ways to actually move out of that fixed mindset and move into that growth mindset, because it's the real you. It's the posts and the content that actually people want to see, because they see so much crap online that they actually want to see that real entity, that real you. So growth mindset traits, these might be things like beliefs. I can learn, I can improve. And I can speak to this one because growing up, I had very much had the mentality of, I didn't have the capacity to learn. I didn't like the school system when I was younger. So therefore, if I wanted to do any study or anything like that, I very much put it in the camp of, oh, that's beyond me. That's academic realm. And basically, I'm too dumb to do that. And now I think, no, I can learn. I can improve. I read adamantly every day. I read 10 pages a day, and anyone can do that. Anyone can, even if you don't have the capacity to buy books, you can go to the library and get a book out. You can listen to an audiobook via a free subscription, or more than one, depending on what, how quickly you listen to them. And yeah, that belief system of I can learn and I can improve, that's switching that switch up in your brain and moving from that fixed mindset over to a growth mindset. So another growth mindset trait might be embracing challenges as opportunities. And yeah, it's just as simple as you going, well, actually, yeah, I might be able to do that. I stepped way out of my safety zone a couple of weeks ago, and I went and did a Tai Chi class. And I actually thought it was going to be like a lecture on just Tai Chi and learning about, a bit of the history and origin and having people actually speak about it. But I got there and it was full on. We were just all on the floor and we're all looking like total knobs and noobs. But it was a challenge and I embraced it, and it was a lot of fun. So embracing challenges as new opportunities, for me, it was embracing an opportunity which turned into a challenge. So they turn up in different ways. Another growth mindset trait is effort equals progress. If I keep showing up, it'll get better. And nothing in society or today is instant. And I think that's half of the problem. And that's where it kind of falls back into that fixed mindset, is that, if I post, 10 days straight, I'm going to go viral. Or if I work in the online space and I don't have any success in 6 months, I'll just poo-poo it. I mean, some people, in all honesty, think, they're just going to make their first million in the first month and they don't get it. And then they just shelve it. Effort equals progress. It's as simple as that. And with a growth mindset, you have to be kind of willing to put in a little bit of that groundwork and maintain that growth mindset. It's like the compound effect of those little small things that get done every day is very powerful. and that's a growth mindset trait. And feedback, again, data is not a personal attack. So you take on feedback and see it as a good thing. So if someone comes to you and you do have that sort of growth mindset trait, you'll take feedback on board, and someone may review your social media profile, or they may come in and look at your business, or a coach you may be working with a coach if you're in a position to do that, and they may give you feedback. And if you're not in that growth mindset sort of area, then that feedback is just going to fall upon deaf ears, and you're going to slide back into that fixed mindset again. And as an example, learning reels, testing funnels, trying a new client system, even if you stumble first, those things all you have to navigate through. You have to move through all those things, and embrace the challenges and make the effort and do the progress, and have the belief that you can learn and you can improve. There are going to be lots of challenges along the way, but that growth mindset is all about embracing those things and not slipping back into the, oh shit, this is too hard. Oh no, I can't do it. No, I've been showing up for like 6 months and I've got bupkis and things like that. The growth mindset is essentially, and this isn't rocket science, obviously the flip side of the fixed mindset, and I think when you look at the actual words of fixed and growth, it's pretty self-explanatory. Something that is fixed is obviously stationary and is not moving. So therefore it's not going anywhere. And growth is it's growing. It's expanding. It's just increasing and continuing to grow. And I think if we can break it down and keep it that simple, it's a really good thing for us as business owners. So why does it really matter? I mean, I think this is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll run through it anyhow. So why it matters for us business owners, mindset equals stagnation. You're going nowhere. You're staying stuck. You might be staying stuck in admin, or just doing all the things inside your business, like working in your business, not on your business, as the saying goes. So a fixed mindset equals stagnation. Basically, you're not going anywhere, you're not doing anything, and you're not scaling. But a growth mindset equals adaptability. You're shifting, you're trying online business models, you're asking better questions, you're basically just allowing options to come into you. And, that compounding effect, small improvements daily. And there's a beautiful book by Darren Hardy called The Compound Effect. I highly recommend it if you get access to it. It's one of my recommended reads. Those small, very small things have a massive impact when it comes to a growth mindset. So let's look at some actionable things that you guys can actually do. You can take away. Have an element of awareness. Spot fixed mindset phrases. I'm terrible at tech. I can't do that. Can you do it for me? Reframe them. Reframe those words in your mind to something like, I don't know that yet, or yes, I can learn that. And celebrate effort, not just results. And I think this is a big trap for business owners, is that they're so focused on having a result that all of the effort that actually goes into something doesn't get celebrated. So praise yourself for progress, even if it's just for posting a reel, or even if you got no likes. And you'd be surprised when you look at the statistics behind social media, how many people are actually watching. So don't get wrapped up in numbers, like likes and comments and shares and things like that. It's really not that important. Celebrate actually just showing up and actually doing it. And normalize feedback. Don't treat it, it's not a verdict. It's not, it's like the judge has put the hammer down and, end of story. It's a growth tool. Feedback is a growth tool. And practice what they call yet thinking. Add yet to limiting statements. So I'm not really good at prospecting yet. It gives you the ability to have growth and move and advance and get better at something. So it might be, oh, I'm not good at posting reels yet. I'm not good at working out. I'm not good at setting up funnels yet. All of those processes can be learned. And that puts us back into the celebrate what you're going to do. So you're going to be learning these things as you move through them. So some benefits that can actually directly come from having a growth mindset is more resilience when your business throws curveballs at you, which it will. Creativity and innovation. So you'll be opening up yourself to new ideas, and that's whether that's through networking or whether it's whether you're working in the online space or whether it's the people that you meet or platforms that you're affiliated with. You're actually opening yourself up to new ideas. Better leadership. So it will encourage your team and clients to grow, and long-term sustainability, because you won't toss the baby out with the bathwater at the first hurdle. You'll grow a bit of hard skin, and it will give you sustainability when you're looking at moving forward in your business, no matter what shape that is, whether it's a traditional, whether it's products, whether you're service based, whether you're in the online affiliate space, or whether you're network marketing, whatever field you're in, the more you can move away from a fixed mindset into a growth mindset, it's going to build long-term sustainability, because basically you're not going to give up when things get hard or when you don't get the results that you're looking for. So a little bit of a prompt for you guys that you can take away. This week, when you catch yourself using a fixed mindset language model, write it down and flip it into a growth mindset phrase. And just take a couple of minutes. This only takes a couple of minutes. So when you catch yourself going, oh, I don't want to do that, or blah, 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 or whatever the case may be, sit down, write it down, and flip that statement into a growth phrase, and see how your energy shifts, and see how your thinking shifts as well. So that's it for today's podcast. It's a really fun topic, and I think it's more complicated and deserves a bit more discussion, because your mindset isn't just some fluffy unicorns and rainbows thing. It's a foundation of how we run our business. And fixed keeps us absolutely stuck, and growth opens doors. So be careful which one you're choosing. So until next time, guys, have an awesome day, and I hope this podcast has been insightful and helpful, and you've learned something. It's been a takeaway for you. If there has, please remember to like or share this podcast. I would really appreciate that. Until next time, have an awesome day.